everybody's got a car that they've had in their past, in their history. And in my case, being in the car business, I've had thousands of cars, mostly muscle cars and hot rods. But in 1983, while I was in the military, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, I bought a 72 Dodge Demon 340. Hemi orange, automatic, buckets console, black interior, black vinyl top. Sizzler hood package, the dual snorkel scoop on it. 39,000 miles, one owner car. The car was beautiful. I paid $1,600 for it. That car today, same car, same condition, would be probably $45, $50, is what 340 A-body cars are doing. I had that car for years. I used to drive that car every other weekend from Norfolk, Virginia back to Long Island. You know, cool car, dog dish hubcaps. Matter of fact, the first full set of mag wheels I ever bought brand new, I bought for that car. I bought a set of Krager mags for it. I ran 84, 85. And I used to drive that car from Norfolk back to Long Island, visit, and go back down. Got out of the Navy, decided to repaint it, took the whole car apart. I was working in a body shop, stripped it, painted, put it back together. I made a show car out of it, and I won a bunch of trophies with it, and I used to have it in the car shows at the Nassau Coliseum, and drove that car a lot. Took that car to Florida and drove it around. Moved to Florida in 1988, brought the car with me, and while I was down there, I went to the Zephyr Hills car auction, classic car auction, which is still actually, they do it every year. It's still around. And I said, I think I'm going to sell the car. We were going to move back to New York. I needed a little extra cash, so I took the car to car auction and I sold it off. I think I sold it for $5,700, which is about what it was worth in late 80s. I sold that car and I immediately regretted selling it. And I sold it to a gentleman that was a retired Pan Am airline pilot. And down in Florida, if you don't know, especially in the Zephyr Hills area, there's a bunch of these airplane communities where people live along airstrip and they fly their private planes. So he buys the car at the auction and he's got no way to get it home. He said, would you mind driving it to my house? And I was like, yeah, I had somebody else with me in another car. He goes, I'm 20 minutes from here. I said, yeah, fine. I said, it was cool. It was the last time I got to drive the car. And at that time, it had a typical 340 car, aluminum intake, headers, purple camshaft from Mopar, had a good idle, good exhaust, sounded good. Car was pretty fast. I used to drag race the car. And I drove it for the last time, and I drove it out to his house. And I get there, I see these just row of houses, a runway and row of houses. I've never seen an airplane community before. And I said, what's up with this? He goes, oh no, he goes, this is an airplane community. He goes, that guy over there, he's a TWA pilot. And he goes, I'm a retired Pan Am pilot. And I look at the end of the runway, I'm like, is that a Budweiser helicopter? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, he flies for the owner of Budweiser. He chases Miss Budweiser with the camera crew to film the boat. So if you remember, and it was the old Budweiser hydroplane. And I got to meet that guy, cool old ex-Vietnam helicopter pilot. And he flies the helicopter home when he's done with the event and they service it and maintain it there. It was really cool. I stayed in touch with the guy and he had the car and he had a couple other cars. I moved back to New York and I kept his business card. Moved on in life, got older, jobs, careers. It was 2004, just moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm setting up my office in the house, and I got my old briefcase, and I open it up and say, man, I haven't looked in this thing in a couple of years, right? I'm going through it, and I find this business card. I'm like, oh, this is the guy I sold the 340 Demon to. I said, what are the chances? I'm going to call it. I call the number. He answers. I introduce myself. Yeah, man, how you doing? How you doing, Joe? How are you? He goes, man, it's a long time. I said, yeah. I said, almost 20 years. He goes, I still got the car. He goes, I'm actually got the house up for sale on the airstrip. He goes, I just bought a condo in Tampa. At this time, the guy's probably mid to late 80s. When I met him, he was like mid to late 60s. He goes, you want to buy it? I said, what kind of shape's it in? He goes, it's pretty clean. He goes, right front door's got a little rust bubble on the bottom that's coming through. And he goes, left rear quarter's got a little spot. He goes, paint's okay. Vinyl top's nice. He goes, a couple splits in the seats. So what do you want for it? And he goes, I don't know. I threw a couple bucks at it. He goes, I'll take $6,500 for it, which was cheap at the time because a good A-body back then, 340 Demon, 340 Duster, that car was probably around 10, 12 grand. And I got this weird unwritten rule in my head that I don't buy back old cars. And I don't know why, I just don't. I said, well, let me think about it. I talked to my wife and she's like, what do you want to do with it? I said, I'm going to get it back, play with it. Maybe we'll take it to an auction. I'll flip it and sell it and make a couple bucks on it. She's like, whatever. I thought about it, and I just kind of forgot about it. I let it get away. I called him up probably a year later. He passed away. That was it. I think it was a son-in-law that answered the phone and said, no, he passed away. And I asked him, he goes, yeah. He goes, he sold it. He goes, I know you. He goes, you're the guy that sold it to him and you were going to buy it. He never heard from me. He goes, he sold the car off. I said, all right. And that was it. Car went away. About probably 10 years ago. So it would have been around 2015, 2016 era. I'm in Florida. I'm at my buddy John's place down in Orlando. A friend of his were talking. He knew the car when I had it when I was in the Navy. He goes, that old orange Demon 340, he goes, that car was here in Orlando not too long ago. I was like, come on. He goes, dude, I saw it. I saw it at a gas station. I knew it was your old car. It had Krager's on it. He goes, it was your old car. I talked to the guy. He goes, he bought it from some guy out in Zephyr Hills. And he goes, I think I know who owned this car. It's a buddy of mine. He goes, he sold it to some guy in Zephyr Hills who was a pilot. He goes, yep, that was the guy. I was like, was it for sale? He goes, nope. He goes, the guy was just driving it. He goes, I think I know where the guy works. He worked local. We went over there. The guy still worked there. He got rid of the car a couple years ago. And I was like, I came that close to being able to buy it again, maybe. And I didn't. I said, where'd it go? He goes, I sold it to a guy down at Fort Lauderdale. And he goes, he's since restored the car. He goes, I know he sold it. It's changed hands. So I'm like, all right. So I didn't have the VIN number anymore for the car. Otherwise I would have Googled it or searched it through it. And, at this point now, with the internet and everything else, I said, it's going to show up maybe at a Mecum auction, maybe Barrett Jackson. I would have seen it if it was Barrett Jackson. I do so much business with them. The car came across the auction block at a Mecum sale and I missed it. It was already one of their sales, and I want to say it was either their Houston sale or might have been Indy, and I missed it. And I have no idea where the car was. I called the auction. Even though I did business with them, they wouldn't give me the name of who bought the car, and I understand that. But I do have the VIN number of the car again, so I am looking for it. So anybody out there finds a Hemi Orange 340 Demon, it's got the double snorkel hood scoop, black interior buckets console, and a black vinyl top, hit me up. Send a message to Mr. Ed Bolian. Maybe we can find that car and I can reunite myself with it. I should have bought it the first time when I had the opportunity. I came close on the second time. And then now I am actually diligently looking for the car. You can't go back in time and relive your youth. But when you buy a classic car, especially one you own once before and you've got that feel, the smell, the sound, that's like a time machine that brings you back. And that's what it's all about.
This month of VINwiki content is brought to you by Bridgestone, and the most exciting tire from Bridgestone right now is the brand new RE71RZ. That's their extreme max performance summer tire that is championing pole position. It's built for the grassroots motorsports crowd and offers much better on-track wear patterns than we saw out of the amazing RE71RS that it is now replacing. It uses Bridgestone's enlightened technology to deliver long-lasting performance and much more responsive control. And the RE71RZ is now available across North America in 45 sizes since December 31st of last year. This new tire meets all requirements for SCCA racing and will be eligible for competition use in 2026 for solo and time trials. This new tire is 0.74 seconds faster on a dry lap and 0.75 of a second faster in a wet lap compared to the outgoing RE71RS. This really is an amazing new sports car and supercar tire from Bridgestone, so check it out now, along with everything else that we love about Bridgestone at the link in the description below.